and welcome to the Mama Waddell family. For those of you that don't know, I'm Jennifer. Subscribe and then you will know, and we can change this intro. Today is Story Sunday. I have a story for you. I am working right now actually on a different video, an update on my anxiety video, but yeah, I have had an interesting week and I had surgery on the 4th of July. So let's dig right in. First of all, how do you like the makeup? Do you like it? Comment down below. I'm going to be wearing dark makeup like this at least for 2 weeks because of this. Yeah, that shiner. That shiner right there. That shiner is brought to you from negligence from a hospital. That's right. Okay, so my story begins on Tuesday. I started cramping. I'm a woman. I have a Marina. For you guys that are watching, that's an IUD that gets replaced every 5 years. And so, so I thought, well, maybe it's from that. Tuesday night, it's no big deal. I'm going to bed. I wake up at 4:30 in excruciating pain. Excruciating pain at 4:30. I try to go back to sleep. It's not happening. 7:30, I'm up. I'm up 7:30 on Wednesday, bent over in pain, hurting so bad. I'm thinking maybe it is my IUD. So there's a little string that hangs out of the cervix. I'm sorry if this is TMI, but you're just going to have to get over it. And so I go to check to see if that's still there, and it's not. Which to me is not that surprising. I've had this problem before. The last one that I had to have surgically removed and then another one put in. So it's not that surprising, like I said, but because I was having so much pain, it was freaking me out a little bit. So I called my OB. The OB's office says, you know what, if you're in that much pain, you need to go to the ER. So I told my husband, babe, we gotta go to the ER. He takes me to the ER. I am doubled over. I am crying. I am, essentially, it feels like I'm giving birth to knives. So they get me checked in, they do a sonogram, they do a vaginal sonogram, they do a belly sonogram. Why am I in so much pain? Anyways, they come in and they say, okay, you have a cyst on your right ovary that's a little bit smaller than a golf ball size, and that can be very painful, but surgery is not necessary, and your IUD looks like a little bit out of place, but there's no worries, it's not dislodged. It looks fine. Why am I in so much pain? And they're like, well, who is your OBGYN? So I tell him, and I say, she's affiliated with this hospital. This is the hospital she told me to come here. She told me to come here because I was having this much pain. So they give a call to my OB. Turns out she's in the hospital 2 floors up. So I'm like, yes, and I'm getting all excited. I'm like, thank goodness my doctor's in the same hospital at the same time. This is wonderful. We're going to figure out what's wrong with me. No. The doctor, well, actually it wasn't a doctor, the nurse practitioner, I never even saw a doctor. The nurse practitioner comes in and she's like, I'm sorry, but I've spoken with your doctor, and she said just to go ahead and take these pain medicines, which is Tylenol 3, which is a joke when you're giving birth to butcher knives. And you can see her tomorrow at her office, which is right next door at 12 p.m. And I was like, are you kidding me? And I basically begged not to leave. I was like, you cannot let me go. I was like, I can't control this pain at home. This is very, very bad. I feel very faint. I was shaking. It was really, really bad. And basically they said no. So my husband, we come home. He gets me as comfortable as I can be. I get up about 9:30 the next day. So this is now Thursday, and I can barely walk. I am doubled over. My husband is not in bed with me, so I guess he's already downstairs. And I make my way halfway down the stairs, and I get really super dizzy because I'm in so much pain, and I just black out. I black out, yeah. And I hit my eye on the handrail, and I skinned my knees, and I hurt my butt bone. I mean, it was terrible, and I just cry out in pain. I never lost consciousness, which is good. So we get to the hospital. Lo and behold, it's a different doctor, which is a normal thing because it's an ER, and he is the most condescending, so many bad words I could think of right now that I'm not going to say because I'm a Christian woman and it's wrong, and I'm sure he's a good person. I'm sure he's a good person, but he was a very mean person to me that day. Did not care about me nor my hurts. He was more concerned with my black eye and assuming my husband gave it to me than even wanted to hear the fact that I was telling him that they should have never released me yesterday because of the amount of pain that I was in. And as a result, I have more injuries because of their negligence. And so it was just, so he leaves the room, comes in, he leaves the room, comes in, he's always looking at his phone. I mean, he'll start to give me an answer and then he'll get interrupted. It was nonsense. It was really nonsense. This doctor was nonsense. So he comes into the room again and he says, look, I've looked at your radiology reports. Your cyst looks like it's ruptured and it's just slowly leaking blood into your abdomen, which your abdomen will naturally absorb. This is not an emergency. There's no surgery. You need to follow up with your OBGYN. He didn't order any more tests. That was it. That was it. And then he walked out because he got another call or something, or I don't know, something was way more important than me. Anyhow, I look at Darren and we just leave. I take off my bracelet. I said, babe, get me out of here. We've got to get to another doctor. I have to have care. We've got to go to a different hospital. This isn't working. This isn't working. I'm trying to remain as calm as possible because I'm in so much pain and I'm crying and it's just, it's so bad. So I call my doctor and the nurse answers and I say, look, this is what just happened. And she told me, well, your husband just called and said that your cyst ruptured, but you're going to be fine. And I looked at Darren and I said, excuse me? My husband has been sitting here the whole time next to me and he made no such call. And I hung up the phone and I looked at Darren. I said, they just told me that you called them and said that my cyst ruptured and I was going to be fine. And he was like, what? And I said, babe, you better pull over right now and get this straightened out. And I said, and get out of the car when you call them. I don't even want to hear you. Because I was just trying to just remain calm as much as I could because I was hurting so bad. So they end up telling him that now I'm no longer even a patient of my OBGYN and that I haven't been since January and that they sent a certified letter. So I am in tears. I'm thinking, oh my God, there's no way I'm going to be able to find an OBGYN the day before the 4th of July. What am I going to do? We're going to have to find another emergency room. And it was just horrible. Okay, but that's not the end of the story, okay? Just bear with me. I'm not done. So by the time we get home, there is a voicemail and on our phone, and I listen to it, and it says, Mrs. Waddell, this is so-and-so from Alliance Hospital, and we need to pre-op you for your surgery with your OBGYN next week. What? So now I need surgery when I've been told 2 times in a row that I didn't need surgery, and I'm supposed to have surgery with the doctor that I'm not their patient? I was like, what the heck is going on here? I was so oh my gosh, I was so mad. I called them back. They didn't answer. I left a voicemail. I said, this is Mrs. Waddell. I said, I will be seeking healthcare elsewhere. Click. And because I was just like, I don't want them working on me. I mean, would you? I mean, what would you do in that situation? But at the same time, I'm like, I feel like I'm dying. Friday morning, I wake up. Still, it's just getting worse. It's just getting worse. And I tell my husband, I say, look, we're not going back to the emergency room, but let's go back to that hospital. I'm going to go and I'm going to talk to the pre-op and I'm going to let them know the situation and I'm going to say, look, I can't find another doctor and this is an emergency. I need you guys to treat me. So we went to pre-op and we told them that. They sent me directly to emergency room. We got a new doctor, but this doctor was a sweetheart. She listened to me the whole time. She just did normal, tests on me, and she was like, oh my, she's like, your stomach is really hard. She was, I need to do some tests. So she did more tests. She did sonogram, everything that they did 3 days ago. And she comes back and she said, you need surgery. You need surgery tonight or tomorrow morning. She goes, this is an emergency. She goes, your cyst is larger than a golf ball and it is pouring blood into your abdomen. And, I can give you surgery tonight or you can do it with your OBGYN tomorrow. And I looked at her. I said, you do it tonight. I need it tonight. So needless to say, you know, they went ahead and admitted me to the hospital. They got me as comfortable as possible. I had to wait for a long time. I didn't have surgery until it was about 1:30 a.m., 1:30 or 2:30 in the morning on 4th of July on Saturday morning. But as soon as I woke up from the operation, I immediately, I can feel my incisions now. I have 3 incisions. I don't know if I can. Oh gosh, almost fell. I don't know. There's one in the belly button. The belly button's covered up, and then I have one there and one there. I don't know if you can see those or not, but anyhow, you know, those are a little bit sore, but the pain that I was having is no longer there. I mean, it's like this woman just went in, scooped up that cyst, drained all that blood. I mean, just, I feel so much better, and I'm so happy that I'm even able to share the story with you guys, because turns out that is very dangerous, and your organs around, when your body cavity and your abdominal cavity starts filling up with blood, that can be very, very dangerous and can turn into a very dangerous situation very quickly. So I'm happy to even be here and not in the hospital still. So yay! So I'm recovering from my surgery, but I'm doing very, very well. But I want to know what you think. Should I pursue and talk to a lawyer about that? I mean, I needed emergency surgery, and they sent me home. They shouldn't have sent me home. Because they sent me home, I got this black eye, and my situation turned worse and could have been a lot worse. So let me know what you think below. This is, you know, Story Sunday. Tell me if you have any crazy medical stories like that. I would love to hear them. I read all the comments. If you like the video, thumbs up. Subscribe for some more. I will have the anxiety video update, or the anxiety update video up. I will have up the anxiety video update soon. I will have an update video from the anxiety. Bye! Okay. What are your hands?
Babe, it's part of the game.
No, it's not.